and welcome to the Holiday and Cruise Clinic. I'm Jemma Gofton with another edition of the programme that aims to make your next cruise or holiday as problem-free and relaxing as possible. So if you have a holiday, cruise or travel-related question, here's how to get in touch. To leave a question on our viewer hotline, call 0871 423 4444. Calls cost 10p a minute from a BT landline, and calls from other networks and mobiles may vary. Write on our Facebook wall or tweet us, just search Holiday and Cruise Channel. Send a message through our website www.holidayandcruisechannel.co.uk/clinic. Or write to us at the Holiday and Cruise Channel, Cavendish House, Brighton Road, Liverpool, L22 5NG. Now in today's programme, we're heading over to the Caribbean to talk about the third largest island, home to the Blue Mountains inland and surrounded by a narrow coastal plain. We're talking about Jamaica, with plenty to see and do and fantastic weather making it an all-year-round destination. It's no wonder that many cruise ships make it a port of call on their popular Caribbean itineraries. And here to tell us more is the Regional Director for UK and Northern Europe of the Jamaica Tourist Board, Elizabeth Fox. Elizabeth, I went to Jamaica a gazillion years ago, so I can't remember anything about it. So this is going to be an interesting one for us. How long does it take to fly there?
About 9 hours, 9 to 10 hours, depending on headwinds. It's quicker coming back, obviously.
Oh, that's the bit
you can come back in 8.5 hours, but yeah, it's 9 to 10 hours.
And taking London out of it, can we fly directly from other places in the UK?
Yeah, from Manchester weekly. There's actually a couple of flights out of Manchester a week and one out of Birmingham every week, year round. And there's also some rover flights that fly out generally for the cruise ships in the winter season.
So it's worth keeping an eye out.
Yeah. So there are some flights during the cruise season in the winter out of Glasgow, Cardiff, East Midlands, Doncaster, Bristol, etc.
And they're direct flights from Manchester, are they? Glasgow. Direct flights?
Yeah, they're all direct.
Straight there.
They're all direct, straight to Montego Bay, yes.
That really makes a difference for me.
Oh, yeah.
It really does. I hate having to change anywhere. So, obviously we know Jamaica, sunshine beaches, we will come to that, but what else is there to do?
That's the great thing about Jamaica. There's more attractions in Jamaica than the rest of the Caribbean put together, I would say. There's loads of things to do. So it really suits the kind of person that doesn't want to just sit on a beach all day, but they want to go and do things like climbing up waterfalls and bobsledding down a mountain and swimming with the dolphins and visiting plantation homes and zip lining through the rainforest and whitewater rafting on river tubing or rafting on bamboo, bamboo rafts that are homemade by the people there. The list goes on. There's so much to do. No one can get bored in Jamaica.
We defy you to do it. So that's all very outdoorsy and we're being energetic, but what if you just want to kick back with a good book and a glass of rum?
Well, we can do that too, because Jamaica's a huge island and there's plenty of gorgeous beaches and there's plenty of great scenery, and you hear the little bit of reggae music everywhere you go. The weather's good all year round. There's a nice breeze coming from the trade wind. We have the trade winds, so there's always a nice breeze there. There's plenty of palm trees, so if you want to sit under a palm tree and read a good book and chill out, Jamaica's supposed to be named the home of all right, so that's where you can just relax. Yeah.
And what about a visa? Do I need a visa to get there?
Depends where you're from, but generally if you've got an EU passport you won't need a visa. Some countries need a visa, but they're actually you're able to get them when you arrive. So you can just go to the immigration authority when you arrive and say I need a visa, and they'll give you one on arrival, which is great. So you haven't got to queue up at an embassy or anything like that.
Oh, good.
But generally all EU countries, most of them, no visas.
Okay. How long do you think you need to spend in Jamaica to really absorb it and get involved and feel like you went to Jamaica?
Well, I think a couple of weeks, you really do. We have a lot of repeat visitors because if you go to one side of Jamaica, it's completely different from going to the other side of Jamaica. Negril, with its 7-mile beach, is completely laid back. It's the capital of casual. No hotel is higher than a palm tree. It's where the Rastas hang out. It's lots of little smaller hotels. They pin a sign up on the palm tree, bonfire and party on the beach tonight. You know, it's real casual. And then if you go to Ocherius, that's where the famous Duns River Falls is, where the famous bobsled ride is, and there's the port of Ocherius, and it's full of, I think there's 30 attractions in a 10-mile radius there. So more of the kids go there. It's a completely different sort of holiday than if you're in Negril. And then Montego Bay is very resorty, lots of golf courses, lots of nightlife, lots of big resorts. So that's, and again, another different experience. So it actually depends where you go. And people who come to Jamaica tend to say, I'm going to come back and go to another side of Jamaica and have a different holiday.
And could you do a sort of a two-stop holiday, would you say?
Yes,
You'd get a real nice feel for it.
Actually, yes, a lot of people do that. They take a week cruising and a week in Jamaica, or a week in Montego Bay and a week on the south coast. You know, that's quite, lots of people do that.
OK, so we've booked our 2 weeks. We're all settled, we're all good to go. What tips regarding where to go in Jamaica? Where in your 2 weeks do you really need to go and see? Or do?
Well, the most obvious is Duns River Falls, because everybody wants to climb up Duns River Falls, and it's actually like a wedding cake tier waterfall that comes out on the beach. So it's a fresh waterfall, but it ends up on the beach. And the beach there is actually the beach that Ursula Andress in Dr. No, the James Bond film, the famous scene where she walks out of the beach with her knife in her bikini, the Halle Berry copied. Yeah. That's the beach right there at the bottom of Duns River Falls. And it's such a thrilling thing to do, to join hands and climb up these falls, and every now and then you dip in and have a swim. It's so refreshing, and it's also a good thing to do if it ever rains, if we have any liquid sunshine, as they call it there.
So we've done that. Where else should we
The other
visit?
thing that's very unique to Jamaica is we have a bobsled ride, and everybody remembers the film.
Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings. So we've invented a Cool Runnings, and basically you go up, it's also in Ocherius, you go up Mystic Mountain, you go on a chairlift, you go over the canopies of all the rainforest, and you have this fantastic view of Ocherius and the port. It takes about 20 minutes to go up, it's lovely. And then when you get there, there's a bobsled ride, and you're given a break, and if you want to use it, you can, or you can go straight down in 90 seconds.
So it brings you all the way back down?
Not all the way back down, but it takes you a little bit
hairy to
no, not all the way back down, no, we wouldn't do that. But that's really, really popular. And a lot of people like to go and visit the coffee plantations and some of the the plantation houses. There's a very famous one in Montego Bay called Rose Hall. And it's where a lady lived called the White Witch, and she apparently haunts the place today. And lots of people say they've felt her, and it's been haunted while they've been there. She actually killed 3 of her husbands, and then her slave lover killed her, so she still haunts the place.
Gosh.
So
yeah,
I would say they're the two. And then the Bob Marley Museum. Everyone knows Bob Marley's songs. Everyone's heard him. Everyone's a fan. And to get yourself down to the Bob Marley Museum in Kingston is a must too, to see where he lived.
And how easy is it to get around the place if I want to visit the museum and then I want to go to the waterfalls? Or, you know, do I get a car? Do I get a bus?
You can.
You can get a bus when I was there.
Hey, you can get a car, you can get a bus, you can get a taxi, you can get a helicopter, you can go by boat. You can, you know, all hotels have tour desks, and they arrange it for you. So you can get you can get your own transfer, or you can share a transfer, or you can go on an organised tour where you stop off at various places and there's a tour guide, or you can drive yourself.
And the roads are fine. It's signposted.
Yeah,
I'm not getting panicked.
It's good. I wouldn't say it's very well signposted. We're in the Caribbean after all, but it is fairly good. And actually, Jamaica, we drive on the left, so it's easy for Brits to drive there. It's the same driving rules, so same traffic regulations, same roundabouts and all that. So it's actually very easy to rent a car and drive around. And it's so beautiful. It's so scenic to do that.
Yeah, and you can really take it in at your own pace then, can't you?
And stop off at local stalls and things like that on the way.
I mean, it strikes me when we're talking about it, we're saying waterfalls and white beaches and all. It's a romantic place, is it?
Very romantic. A lot of people come and actually, well, people used to come for honeymoons to Jamaica, but now they're actually coming to get married and staying to honeymoon there. The wedding business is very, very, very much growing to Jamaica, because a lot of these big resorts, if you bring a few people, they'll give you a free wedding. And these weddings are they're beautiful. I mean, they're on the beach at sunset. Your toes are in the sand, and the sun's going down, and you know it's just so romantic.
And you've ticked all the boxes because you're there for your honeymoon anyway
Yeah.
as well.
So you're there for your honeymoon, yes.
It's stress-free.
And if you want to get married outside of June, July, August, because most people want to get married there in the UK because of the weather, you're guaranteed good weather, you know.
Absolutely.
It will be good weather.
Wonderful. Right. I think we've whet people's appetite, but we have to go to a break. Bear with us. Now, if you're new to cruising and you like the sound of a Caribbean cruise, then this is our first time guide to cruise holidays, and it's well worth asking for because it's absolutely free of charge. I know we spoil you. Give us a call, 0871 423 4444. Calls will cost 10p a minute from a BT landline, and other networks and mobiles may vary. You can also ask for a copy through our website, www.holidayandcruisechannel.co.uk. Whilst you're asking for this, we'll take a quick break. See you shortly. Welcome back to the Holiday and Cruise Clinic. It is lovely to have you with us. In today's programme, we're discussing the popular Caribbean destination, Jamaica. And Elizabeth Fox is still with me. Now, I wonder, is there a good time to head to Jamaica in the year?
Well, the best time obviously is in the winter when the weather's awful here, and the weather's absolutely stunning in December, January, March, April, May. But people go all year round, and the weather's lovely all year round. It's a little bit hotter in the summer, but it's not as hot as Florida is in the summer because we have a constant wind, because we're an island. So you actually get slightly better deals if you go outside of school holiday time and if you go not in the winter, because everybody wants to go in the winter. But any time there's no bad time to go.
Is there anything specifically, though, that, I don't know, maybe some great festivals or music festivals or food festivals or something that we should be kind of planning round?
Yeah, every year we have a Jazz and Blues Festival the end of January, which is great. They have big international name stars like Lionel Richie, Diana Ross.
I'm in.
Celine Dion, you know, big names. In July, at the end of July, we always have the Reggae Sumfest, which is very popular in Montego Bay. And that happens every year. And again, big reggae artists. So big reggae fans would go to the Reggae Sumfest. In December, we have the Reggae Marathon, where if you're a really fitness freak and people like to run around, you know, travel around the world doing different marathons, the Reggae Marathon in Negril is great. It's a beautiful marathon. It's very early in the morning before it gets too hot. And it's a great event, and it's visited by lots of people from all over the world. So I'd say they were the three biggest things. We also have a thing called the 90 Days of Summer, Jam Rock. For 90 days each summer, there's an event going on every weekend somewhere. So, you know, check our website for information for what's going on. There's always something going on in Jamaica, always.
Well, I must admit, I do love going on a holiday, and when I get there, there's a festival on of some sort, because you do something you wouldn't necessarily do.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to have pre-planned
like a jerk festival. We have a jerk festival.
Oh, what's that?
That's jerk. You know, they have everyone brings their drums and they cook all this amazing jerk food, which is peppered, smoked, barbecued food, pork, shrimp, chicken, something like that. There's always something going on.
Well, while we're chatting about food and drink, my favourite subject, what should we try when we're there? What would be typical?
Well, jerk, obviously. Jerk comes from Jamaica, so that's a must. Rum. Rum is made in Jamaica, so you've got to have a rum and ting. Ackee and saltfish is basically the signature dish. Ackee looks like scrambled egg, but it's actually from a tree. It's a fruit, and it's cooked. You can't eat it raw. It would be poisonous, but they cook it. And they serve it up with saltfish, which is a Jamaican recipe, and it's absolutely delicious. Mostly people eat it for breakfast. So I'd say you definitely have to try that. The fruits and the vegetables there are so fresh because they're all from farm to table. They're all there. The sea food is fantastic because, of course, it hasn't travelled. None of it's travelled. The papayas and mangoes. I'd never really tasted a papaya and mango till I went to Jamaica because here they just don't. They don't travel well and they don't taste the same. So the food is really fresh and delicious. And Jamaicans cook with a lot of peppers and spices, so everything it has a real taste. It's not, nothing's bland.
Oh, it's actually making my mouth water.
Yeah.
A little bit peckish.
I know.
And would you say when it comes to eating and drinking and staying over at hotels, B&Bs, wherever, is there a price point for everybody? You know, you could, if you wanted to go 5-star and, you know, really live it up, you could. If you wanted to just go, okay, we're on a budget.
Yeah, yeah. There's something for everyone. In fact, the best experiences are sometimes out in the streets on the road and eating the street food, because it's, you know, it's fresh, it's cooked locally, you mingle with the locals. There's various jerk pits around Jamaica where people just go, you sit on probably a homemade seat or seat made out of a rum barrel. Everything's made by the restaurant, or you can't even call it a restaurant, it's a jerk pit, and they just grill all this food all day long and serve it in tin foil basically, but it's delicious, absolutely delicious.
Amazing. Yeah. What about Usain Bolt? We know he's famously from Jamaica.
Yes.
Is there anything to him, a museum or a statue, or?
Actually, there is a museum at Mystic Mountain, where I was talking about the bobsled ride. They have a museum to all the athletes up there, which is, you can have a look at before you zoom down on your bobsled. And also, Usain Bolt owns a sports bar and restaurant in Kingston, and it's called Tracks and Records. He likes to spin and DJ, so it's actually a play on the name of spinning tracks and playing records, as well as running on tracks and breaking world records.
Yeah.
So that's in Kingston, Tracks and Records. So big fans can go there. He's quite often there as well.
Oh, I don't know. I'd be beside myself if I saw him, I think. What can nature lovers do in Jamaica?
Well, we have all these endemic birds and butterflies. There's an area called Port Antonio where a lot of the bird watchers and the nature lovers go. You can walk through the blue and hike through the Blue Mountains, and you see so many different flora and fauna, and you see so many different butterflies and birds that you wouldn't see anywhere else in the world. So nature lovers love Jamaica, yeah.
I'm not suggesting that retired people only love nature, because we all do. But is it a good place if you're retired? Is it easy to get round and sort of feel quite safe and do your own thing? Oh
yeah, as I said, you know, we drive on the left, which is easy, and there's plenty of, you know, registered taxis and tour buses. And retired people like to go and chill and relax. Jamaica has an atmosphere, and it's a really chilled out atmosphere, and everything's no problem, and it's all they say all day long is all right. We're the home of all right. So I think if you're retired and you're in that period of your life where you just want to chill out a bit, Jamaica would be the place for you to go. And
I guess as well, if you're retired, you could maybe spend a bit longer there and really get into the vibe of it.
And of course, we invented the all-inclusive concept. It was started in Jamaica. So if someone wants to feel no stress, that you don't even have to worry about it, where your next meal's coming from or paying for your drink, go to one of the gorgeous all-inclusive resorts.
And let's move on to the historical links between the UK and Jamaica. What are they?
Well, Jamaica's a Commonwealth country, so we've been connected to the UK a long time. It was a colony for a long time. Jamaica got their independence in 1962, so it's been independent for 51, 52, 53 years now. My maths probably isn't that good. Depends when this show's airing. So the school system, the government system, the police system, everything's run on the British way. They were taught, they were all taught by the British, and it's still a Commonwealth country, and they're very proud to be in the Commonwealth.
And what about, we're talking about accommodation, so you're getting yourself there, you're all getting under your own steam. Let's talk about the top end of accommodation. Is there somewhere you could be all singing, all dancing and really blow the budget?
Yeah, well, the good thing about Jamaica is it's got something for everyone. So if you want to go to a really classic Jamaican hotel that's been around for years, where all the movie stars used to go in the 50s and 60s, where the Kennedys went, where the Queen visited, where Prince Charles has been, where Errol Flynn used to hang out, where Ian Fleming, all these people that you hear about that were in Jamaica in those days, you can. And then we have some newer hotels that have just been built by, some of the Spanish resorts that are more sort of Vegas-y, where you can see great shows, there's great entertainment, and they're a little bit more for the people who like the faster pace. And then, you know, we also have the chilled out, smaller hotels that are family run, and they just small and quaint. Some are on cliffs, some are in caves, some are, you know, on the
really
beach.
flippantly, some are in caves.
Yes,
it's really unusual.
You can actually dine in a cave in Negril. There is a hotel called the Caves, and you can go for dinner in the caves, all lit up by candlelight. But yes, and there's villas, great big lovely villas, and of course all inclusives. And if you just want rooms on the beach, you can get a hotel room.
And what should we be looking forward to in Jamaica for 2015, 2016?
We have couple of new hotels opening which have not been in Jamaica before, which is great, which is the Hyatt, Ziva and Zalara, which are actually 2 hotels, one for all families and one adults only, so you can choose which you like.
Can you put the kids in one?
Yeah, that would be a good idea. That's a new concept I'll take back to them.
There you go.
And we have a new hotel called Moon Palace, and anyone who's been to anyone who's been to Mexico will know Palace Resorts. And it's their first resort outside of Mexico. And then Melia Hotels, which is the Spanish hotel chain, they're also going to build a new hotel in Jamaica. So we've got new product. We just opened the Sensatori last year, which is Thompson's Hotels. So we're really proud to be able to offer lots of different types of product. A new product, as well as our traditional sandals is Jamaican, couples is Jamaican, jewel resorts is Jamaican.
And is Jamaica a good place to go to if you enjoy cruises? Because some people just like this sort of, like you say, it's all inclusive, I'm here, I don't need to plan my next meal, I don't need to plan what I'm wearing.
I think cruisers love Jamaica because there's so much to do, because they're eating and sailing on their ship, and when they get off they want to see something of the country and they want to interact with the local people. And people want experiences and they want to feel welcome, and Jamaicans are very, very welcoming and very, very friendly, and nothing's too much trouble, and there's plenty to see and do. So if you get off the ship and no matter what you want to do, you know, if you want to find a secluded beach, or if you want to go into a cave, or if you want to climb at waterfalls, or you want to see a bit of history and visit some colonial plantation homes, you know, we have it.
Oh, it's an awful job you've got there, isn't it? Awful. I really struggle for you. Thank you so much for coming in and chatting to us about it. It does sound absolutely amazing. OK, just a quick reminder about this before we head off. It's our first time guide to cruise holidays and it's absolutely free of charge. Just give us a call, 0871 423 4444. Now, calls will cost 10p a minute from a BT landline, and other networks and mobiles may vary. Don't forget, you can also ask for a copy through our website, www.holidayandcruisechannel.co.uk, where you can also get in touch with questions for future programmes. OK, that's all we've got time for on today's edition of the Holiday and Cruise Clinic. My huge thanks to Elizabeth Fox, and thanks to you for watching. See you next time. Bye.